Letters to Santa in late April? To be honest, there are some serious Christmas vibes going on right now in the small town of Hankinson, North Dakota. Many are excited to unwrap a little history for the community thanks to this jolly old fellow. The beard might be of another shade, but Cody Mauch is thrilled for the chance to put his hometown on the map as he gets ready to be drafted into the NFL this weekend. He's come a long way since starring for Hankinson on this football field, and that's where we caught up with his varsity coach Jason Monilaws, who says he can't wait to see what comes next for the young man that they call Tud. Well, Jason, here we are on the field where it all started for Cody. Just take me through, are there a few key moments that you remember from his varsity football days that really stick out? Because back then he was a tight end, he was actually catching some touchdowns.
Well, and playing quarterback,
yeah,
and other things. Well, the end zone behind us here has a lot of good memories because if you look at the topography of the land, the corner over there, what I call the southwest corner, rises a good foot and a half above where the goal line is.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when you got a 6'5" tight end, you just throw a little corner out into it and toss him the ball. He's going to catch it 9 out of 10 times.
Yeah.
And I always caught a lot of grief from the other coaches. Well, geez, it must be nice to have a 6-foot tight end, and then he can run up a hill and you can throw the ball to him. I said, well, of course, it's home field advantage.
Right. That's pretty special.
One thing about him, and it's the same way with college. He's definitely a team player kind of a guy, and he would do anything that we asked him to do, whether it was kicking, punting, playing nose guard, playing his DN spot, playing at the tight end.
When did you notice, okay, he's maybe built a little bit different where he might have an opportunity to play at the next level?
He came in as a freshman, just a skinny little guy.
Yeah.
And then the growth spurt began after that. And by his junior year, and I'm pretty sure I was visiting with Joe about this, that I thought, if he keeps growing, he can play Division I football. And he has what they look for. I referenced NDSU because at the time they were heavily recruiting these tight end type of a hybrid player that could play both in at a tackle spot or a tight end, and maybe, well, we got enough depth here and we need you on the line at tackle. And with his athleticism, that's exactly what they were looking for. And when Randy started recruiting him, that's kind of what he told me, the same thing that I was thinking in the back of my mind, that and then his senior year I had no doubt that he could play Division I football.
Rest is history. Now fast forward to now. I mean, what he's accomplished throughout his career, and you've been fielding calls from national media outlets. I mean, that's when you sign up to be the head football coach at Hankinson High School, I don't think you're thinking that you're going to be taking calls from ESPN, The Athletic, and all these other national media outlets. What has it been like to be part of this ride?
Surreal, Jody. That's the best way to put it. It feels like I'm getting ready to play a state championship football game again, like we did back in 2009. I haven't been sleeping much, and I've been nervous about different things, and I've been trying to get things out to people that want it, and but it's good.
Yeah. And you've been taking calls from even NFL teams, like you mentioned.
Yep.
What are those conversations like?
Well,
what are they trying to figure out?
It's like a background check. I'm assuming all these clubs have a person or persons that run background checks on these kids as they come out of college. Did he have a girlfriend in high school? What kind of student was he? What was he like in junior high? What was he like, in practice? Did he do this? Did he do that? It's pretty extensive question. I almost felt like I was getting interrogated.
Cody seems like a big community guy. You had the big event back in November to honor him for the day. How much do you think he's kind of rubbed off on these kids to think, man, if I keep playing hard and I try hard, I could be like Cody?
Well, I had that conversation with my 8th graders today, and I just told the kids, the odds of this ever happening again in Hankinson are probably slim to none.
Mm-hmm.
And I just don't see it happening again. And of course, the young man in the back row, well, you telling me I'm not going to get drafted? And I go, no, the odds are against it. I don't know what they are, how many hundreds of million in one, but yeah, the odds are against it. This is probably a one and done deal.
We went walking through the halls today. Signs everywhere, even downtown, signs in the windows. What has it been like kind of experiencing this last week where there's a lot of school pride, a lot of Tud Pride.
Tud Pride everywhere. The support in small towns is something special. You know, not everybody can work or teach and coach in a small community, but the ones that can do it and put the energy into it and develop the relationships, it's very rewarding. And with the tight-knit community we have and the support we've always had for athletics down here is phenomenal. And you know, I'm not surprised at all.
Team A picks him, and fan bases are wondering what are they getting in Cody Mauch. What would you tell them?
Well, I'll tell you what I've been telling the people I've visited with, that you're not going to get someone that's going to outwork Cody. It's been instilled in him since he was a child when he started working on the farm, and it hasn't changed. He will outwork everybody. I mean, that's just the way he is. He's going to give every the old cliche 110% effort. You know, as a coach, well, we want 110% effort. Well, he's going to do that. He'll take extra reps. He'll be the first one on the practice field. He might be the last one out of the film room, but that's what he does. That's the kind of kid he is.